Hello friends, welcome into College Football Now. I am your host, Tom Downey. The coaching carousel continues to spin, and Colorado is next up. They fired head coach Mike MacIntyre this weekend. Look, MacIntyre was 30-44 in 6 years at Colorado, early 5.9, I guess, years at Colorado. Had that great 2016, went 10-4, and it was Colorado's lone bowl appearance under MacIntyre. You take out that 10-4 season, 20-40 is not a good mark for a Power 5 coach, so it's not a big surprise that MacIntyre is gone. Now Colorado begins the search for their next head coach, and we'll take you through 10 potential candidates to be the next Colorado head coach. At number 10, Chuck Pagano, which I find interesting, but it's been mentioned a couple times out there, and he is from Boulder and went to Fairview High School, and the locality of it, I guess, makes some sense, but Pagano hasn't been a college coach since 2007. He wasn't really that great with the Indianapolis Colts, 53-43. Things very much cooled down after that. I would consider it a head-scratching hire, but just keep an eye out for it. Maybe he gets an interview because he seems to want to get back into the coaching ranks at the head level. All right, number 9, Jeff Tedford. How about another former Pac-12 coach? Now, Tedford was 82-57 in 11 years with Cal, but at the end of the tenure, things very much went down the wayside. They were not as good as they were early on in his career. Now, he has done a great job at Fresno State, and although he's a bit of a retread hire, does he actually even want to leave Fresno State? This could be the type of job where Tedford says, you know what, I'm happy here, we've got a good thing going, I don't need the extra stretch of taking on a major Power 5 job, I'll sit at my Group of 5 level and have immense success. All right, number 8, Seth Littrell, the North Texas head coach, and this is one of the top Group of 5 coaches available, so we'll make note of him here. But much like a guy with, let's say, Dino Babbers, a Ryan Day, who we'll discuss a little bit later on as well, very briefly, he might have a different job in mind. And if the Kansas State or Texas Tech jobs come open, which they have not yet, but decent chance one or both of those jobs is available, Littrell makes much more sense there, given the region, than jumping out west and going to Colorado. So because he's one of the top Group of 5 guys available, we'll make note. I don't consider him, though, an ideal fit right now, or even necessarily a top-end target for Colorado. All right, number 7, another more creative name, I'll call it, Jedd Fisch, the offensive assistant for the Rams. Remember, he interviewed for the Kansas job, does have some ties to Colorado. In particular, was the Broncos receiver coach under Mike Shanahan, has plenty of background as an NFL and college OC, wants to get back in the college ranks, wants that shot really at a legit head coaching job. Could be an interview candidate. I would be a bit surprised, though, if Colorado went the Jedd Fisch route. But keep an eye out for him for a couple different of these somewhat lesser head coaching jobs, and also maybe some more notable offensive coordinator jobs in college football. Number 6, Jimmy Lake. I think he makes more sense than Ryan Day, who already passed on one SEC job. I don't know if he really wants the Colorado job, even though I'm sure the Buffs have interest in him. Jimmy Lake instead, a West Coast guy, unlike Ryan Day, a promising young defensive coordinator, only 41 years old. Washington made him the DC this year, promoted him, had their current DC kind of step to the side a little bit to let Jimmy Lake be the DC so he didn't leave to go elsewhere. It's a big jump for Lake, but he's well regarded and one of the brighter minds in terms of defensive coordinators out there. Keep an eye out for Lake in Colorado. It's a bit more of a lesser option, but I think it is one that makes some sense. Number 5 now, and this one, I am surprised that his name has been mentioned so often. Dana Holgorsen. It'd be a great hire for Colorado. I don't think anyone would dispute that. You get a good coach like Holgorsen, I think he'd be a good fit in Colorado because, well, frankly, I think most guys will be a good fit in Colorado, especially a unusual character like Dana. But does he really want to leave the West Virginia job? Frankly, I think the West Virginia-Colorado jobs, I think they're pretty equal. I know Colorado fans think it's definitely Colorado, and West Virginia fans think it's definitely WVU. But which is the better head coaching job? Let me know, folks. Type W for West Virginia, type C for Colorado. I would be very surprised if Holgorsen made what I consider to be a lateral move out west to Colorado. I'm sorry, Colorado fans, but let's kind of face it. This has not been a very good Colorado-Buffalo program. I mean, look, West Virginia has missed as many bowl games in the past 10 years as Colorado has made bowl games. That's not exactly a good thing for Colorado. So I would be surprised if Holgorsen made the jump to Colorado. Number 4, how about a guy Buffalo fans know? Jim Leavitt. And remember, Big factor in Colorado's 2016 season, has also long been tied to the Kansas State potential job opening. This would be a Gus Malzahn type hiring. In this case, MacIntyre is your Gene Chizik. He gets fired, and the coordinator who the athletic department says, we're going to give him more of the credit, ends up getting the job a la Gus Malzahn. I think he's going to be an option. I don't think he'd be the ideal option. I think there are some other guys out there that might just make a little bit more sense for Colorado. Now, before we get into the top three, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What that means is go put down $50. They will give you $60 for free to bet with for a grand total of $110 on BetDSI if you use promo code LIVE120 at chatsports.com/bet. All right, into the top three now. How about another familiar name, Eric Bieniemy? Remember, he played halfback at Colorado, was an early NFL draft pick, coached at Colorado, which might actually be a bit of an issue for Colorado because his stint as the OC in 11 and 12 did not go very well. It was a failed tenure for Colorado with the entire coaching staff. That might be a negative for Bieniemy from Colorado's perspective, and then from his perspective, he's going to draw NFL head coaching interest this year. That's what happens when you're a Chiefs OC. You get NFL head coaching interest these day and age. So I think Colorado will have interest there, but I think there might be some issues on both sides that make it a less likely option, at least among the top three guys. Number 2, Bryan Harsin. This is the Boise State head coach right now. Has done a fantastic job, 51-14, and has kept Boise State in the mix among the top group of 5 coaches, or programs, I should say. Here's the thing. Again, same issues on both sides potentially. Boise is his alma mater, so will he actually want to leave? Meanwhile, we all remember the Dan Hawkins era, right? Did not go very well, so maybe Colorado wants to avoid another Boise State head coach. If they're over the Dan Hawkins thing, I think Harsin does make sense. And then number 1, how about Matt Wells at Utah State? Has done a fantastic job this year, 10-1, a Utah State alumnus. So again, would he leave? I think is a fair question mark. If you're looking for on the rise, west to mid-western to the mountain range coaches, there aren't that many that are actually on the rise. Matt Wells is one of the very few that I think makes sense. I think at some point he's going to make a jump to a Power 5 program. I think Colorado is a perfect fit in that scenario. So let me know what you guys think there in terms of Matt Wells. I think he'd be a good fit. I don't know if Colorado will go there. I think they'll have plenty of other options if they want to go. So let me know in the comment section, folks. Who should Colorado hire as its next head coach? Is it a Matt Wells? Is it a guy with ties to the program, and Eric Bieniemy? Or is it somebody not even on the list? Let me know what you guys think. We'll be sure to respond. If I had to bet, I think Matt Wells is the best option for Colorado, and I think as of right now, the most likely one as well.